And finally, congratulations to all of tonight's nominees, all pretty incredible games. And the 2021 Game of the Year is It Takes Two.
This moment was really disappointing because the video game It Takes Two won the 2021 GOTY. In case you don't know what the GOTY means, well, by its initials is Game of the Year. It's like the Oscar for Best Movie, but for video games. So as you probably guessed, this award is really hard to get, and isn't like if a video game won the award, automatically is the Game of the Year. But winning the award is really prestigious and the game can get a lot of popularity. So made you wondering why that moment was pretty disappointing for me. Well, sometimes happen that you do something expecting nothing, but then you ended doing that thing for hours without even noticing. Well, that happened to me when I played for the first time a video game called Psychonauts 2. I discovered the game when I was watching YouTube and I saw an ad about this game. The game immediately caught my attention. Since that moment I wasn't like excited for the game, but I was intrigued about the game. Naturally, when I saw the game in the Game Pass, I downloaded the game and I started playing it. And as a curious fact, this game was the first in which I played everything in English. So since the beginning I knew this game will be different to the majority of video games I ever played. The start was really exciting, no boring tutorials, no useless introductory things. The beginning was just really fun. And more important, the beginning made me want to know more about the game, the story and the characters. So Psychonauts 2 is a platform and adventure game where you control Rasputin, the protagonist of the game. He has the ability to enter in people's minds. So without further explanation of the game, let's start it with the reasons why I think Psychonauts 2 is one of the best games of all times and my Game of the Year of 2021. First, let me talk about the gameplay. Big part of the gameplay of Psychonauts 2 is the movement, and it's great, it feels really fluent, comfortable, fast, and due to some abilities you have, the movement is an important mechanic of the game because it has elements with parkour. Also, there are so many times when you need really good reflexes and precision. In conclusion, the movement mechanics are really exciting and really makes you to want to explore the world. Also, the fight mechanics are also great. Again, due to the abilities you have, you can fight the enemies in a lot of ways, using different strategies to beat them. It never gets boring. And the enemies represent a really big challenge. Each enemy is different, so you have a lot of ways to get killed by them. And when you fight different enemies in the same time, it's really when it gets more challenging. Now the level design. Each level in the game is unique, creative, incentive due to the exploration. In summary, the game really have a big variety of levels, locations, and a world to explore. For example, a hospital converted in a casino where you try to convince your boss to let go you and a mission. A creepy place of a traumatized dentist where you try to know who's hired him. A cooking TV show where you use your audience to cook. Psychedelic places where you are trying to get reunited a band. A tiny pirate planet that is bigger than you think. A big post office with a giant robot inside. A museum of a country called Problaby. And a lot more places to visit. I also love the history. You are Rasputin Aquaro, you have been in a summer camp for children with mental powers, and your girlfriend's father has been kidnapped. So you have the mission to find those who haven't done that. In the certain building to people who have mental powers. The story has great plot twist, an intriguing plot, and overall is a great story from start to finish. Now let's talk about the characters. There are a lot of memorable characters. The video game makes you to like the characters and even care about what's going on to happen with the characters. Obviously the protagonist is one of the best characters. Also Frog Cruller, all of the Psychic Seeds, Dr. Loboro, Lily Sanotto, the coach, Mila Bodello, Sasha Nine, and each one of his characters has a unique personality and are really interesting characters. The soundtrack is very good, it has a lot of variety, types of music and different styles. You always will have a good music to hear, but I don't have more to say about it. You really need to hear it by yourself. In conclusion, That Psychonauts 2 having won the Game of the Year of 2021 was pretty disappointing for me, because when a video game win the Game of the Year, a lot of companies then try to make similar games. And the industry of video games really needs video games like Psychonauts 2. But also the video game It Takes Two is a great game, but Psychonauts 2 is easily part of my top 3 favorite games of all times that I ever played. So that was everything, see you next time, and this was my first video in English. Bye.